So, dear listeners of AUIB FM 101.5, we are back, and you are listening to 8 in the Morning Show. And of course, as we have mentioned before the break, we have a guest with us today, and we will be talking about the education and the importance of education and leadership, of course. But the thing is that this one, it talks about the collaboration that we have recently in AUIB. It's not recent, but it is a collaboration that has been going on for almost like 3 years to 2 years, and we will talk more in details about it. It's a collaboration between the College of Peabody of Education in USA and also the College of Education inside AUIB. And our guest today, have been visiting Iraq, and her visit to Iraq, of course, marks an important step in the growing academic partnership between the Vanderbilt University and the American University of Iraq, Baghdad. And this collaboration supports the development of higher education, particularly through the College of Education. So in our conversation today, we will be hosting Dr. إلين Goldring, and we will explore the significance of this collaboration and what makes the College of Education unique in AUIB. So Dr. إلين Goldring, welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me. It's a real honor to be here.
It's a real honor for me as well. So what do you feel like being here in the FM station, the vibes and everything?
It's amazing. Such a wonderful, welcoming feeling and so fun.
It is, yeah, it is fun. We're happy, of course, to have you here. So to begin with, we want to introduce you to the listeners. So can you give us a background of your position and your visit maybe here at AUIB?
Absolutely. So I'm here with two colleagues this time, Dr. Shok Cravens and Dr. Nancy Dixon. And we're a team working in collaboration with the College of Education and Human Development. I'm the Vice Dean at Peabody College of Education and Human Development at Vanderbilt University, and I'm also a professor of education policy and leadership. And we're here to continue our collaboration, and I know you'll ask me lots of questions about that.
Yes, of course. Well, first of all, I wanted to shed light, on your visit to the campus. This is maybe your third time coming to the campus of AUIB. So what do you think? And maybe have you, seen a lot of developments within AUIB?
Absolutely. First of all, the energy and the number of students keeps growing. You notice it on campus every day when classes switching, students outside, students talking. We had the opportunity to observe some classes and visit some classes and talk with students. You just feel the excitement and the energy all around campus.
Yes, of course. Well, since we are talking mostly today about the collaboration between Vanderbilt and the College of Education here at AUIB, what do you think that this collaboration has brought to both parties?
That's a great question because we know collaboration really means both parties equally learning with each other and getting to know each other. So on the AUIB side, of course, when we started, there was no College of Education or Human Development at AUIB. So we started from ground zero, building the curriculum, building the approach to teaching and learning, really understanding what an American style teaching and learning is, and having the opportunity to share that not only with the faculty in the College of Education and Human Development, but other faculty across the university. So we work with designing the degrees, what the curriculum should be, and how to think about K-12 education and the future of teaching and learning for Iraq. And then we're also focusing on higher education, the profession of higher education. So we're learning a lot about both what it means to do and work with faculty and students across the globe.
Yeah, this is amazing. So you have been working, as you have mentioned, with a lot of faculty members and maybe students. And of course, I think you have seen a lot of struggles that, the faculty members, suffer from, or maybe, the students. So what are the main struggles that your collaboration with our college, you're trying to solve?
Well, of course, when we say American style education, that means a lot of things, but there's some commonalities. And one of them is this idea of a learner-centered, student-centered education, where really students learn to take responsibility and ownership of their own learning. And faculty help students do that. So we call it almost like a flipped classroom.
Yes,
not,
of course.
The professor standing, but it's students being very engaged and taking thinking through like how they learn, what's the best way to learn, and professors are more guides about that.
Yes.
So that's some of the things that we think a lot about, and we're working with how to design curricula activities to do that. And at the same time, how to support staff and academic leaders to be sharers, part of that whole vision.
Yes.
And how to develop the conditions and the strategies so that students can be success and meet their career goals.
Those are amazing projects. Yes. So speaking of projects, and since you are visiting now AUIB and Iraq, are there any projects or events or workshops that you are trying to enhance or maybe evolve here at AUIB?
Yes. So yesterday was an amazing day, and we had the kickoff of the Center for the Advancement of Higher Education in Iraq. And we held our first 2 inaugural workshops as part of the center. One was for the staff at AUIB. It was amazing. I hope you have an opportunity to reach out some of the staff and talk to them about their experience yesterday.
Yes, we will.
Yes, so that was led by Dr. Nancy Dixon. And it's really important that staff see how their roles contribute to the student experience. And it was an opportunity for staff across campus to really get to know each other and to start thinking about their own leadership roles and their leadership styles. And then we also held the first inaugural workshop face-to-face as part of the launch with Dr. Cravens, where faculty are beginning to, think about that approach. What does it mean to be learner-centered? And we have a framework we use about how people learn and ambitious instruction. So we're just kicking it off, but we're super excited and had an amazing day yesterday.
Yes, that's amazing. And of course, we are excited. And maybe, as you have mentioned, we will, host a lot of, maybe faculty members and things, and to talk us a little bit more about the experience that they have, and maybe, more details about the education in this collaboration.
That would be great. And of course, Dean Allison, who's here, she can be a wonderful person to interview next, because she's overseeing all these partnerships here on campus.
Yes.
And really is an important link to keeping the partnership very productive.
Yes, I really appreciate, the efforts of Dr. Allison. We have been seeing her always running around, the campus and trying to make collaborations and events. Yes, and, working with the students in the schools. And I have been seeing a lot of really interesting projects, with going out to schools and, teaching the students, the techniques and the teaching. So this is really inspiring.
I think that's one of the hallmarks of Peabody and, of course, AUIB in this partnership is really the importance of linking a College of Education and Human Development to its communities and to partner with other universities and other schools. And so you see that really coming to life. And one of the unique things about the College of Education and Human Development, unique to AUIB and I think pretty unique to Iraq, that important work of building partnerships in the community.
Yes, of course. And we are really proud of this, collaboration and the enhancement that we have been seeing here at AUIB. But of course, we are still going on with our topic, and we still have a lot of questions to ask you. But now I think it's the perfect time to go for a little break and hear a little bit of music, and then we will be back after the break.
Thank you so much.
So, dear listeners, we are back, and of course, you are listening to 8 in the Morning Show right here on AUIB FM 101.5. And before the break, we were talking, we were having a beautiful conversation with Dr. Elin Goldring, that we were speaking about the collaboration between the University of Vanderbilt and AUIB. And of course, we are still diving more about, our topics. So, Dr. Elin, I have been seeing that you have an amazing achievements and amazing research and things, interesting topics that you have to discuss. So you have a research that focuses on the intersection of education policy and school improvement. So talk to us a little bit more about this research that you have been doing.
Thank you. So the cornerstone of my research is to understand how school districts and states in the United States and also globally can implement approaches to improving schools. And I mostly focus on the types of supports that school principals need to help improve teaching and learning in their schools. Happy to talk more about that.
Yes. Maybe we can talk a little bit more details and further interviews that we can, have a little bit more discussions about.
Absolutely, even through Zoom when I'm not here.
Yes,
Virtually.
of course.
Yes.
Well, you have been talking about this intersection of, the policies and education. Yes. Well, from your perspective and from the research that you have done, what do you think that makes a great leader in schools?
That's a great question. So I think there's three things that we think about. Mm-hmm. So one is this big term that we call instructional leadership. Mm-hmm. It's the extent to which principals really know and understand teaching and learning, mm-hmm. and how they can support teachers and develop teachers to be mm-hmm. effective teachers. Mm-hmm. So in our context, that includes things like going into teachers' classrooms, observing them, mm-hmm. and we focus a lot on giving feedback, mm-hmm. positive and effective feedback for growth. Mm-hmm. Another aspect of instructional leadership, for example, is using student assessment data mm-hmm. to help teachers understand how to best meet the needs of their students, because mm-hmm. we know students have different needs, and also they're in different levels. Mm-hmm. So that's what we call the instruction bucket. A bucket's not a very technical term.
Yes.
So that's one area. Mm-hmm. Then the second area we think about is leadership in general, mm-hmm. like in other fields. So mm-hmm. you mentioned in one of your earlier segments about communication, being a good communicator, being a mm-hmm. good listener, engaging in partnerships and mm-hmm. creating community. Mm-hmm. So the second area is really the importance of being a leader. Yes. And then the third thing that is, I think, very unique to education mm-hmm. has to do with working within a school system. Mm-hmm. So all systems have bureaucracies, they have policies, and they have rules. Yes. And the question is, how can leaders work within the system in an effective way mm-hmm. to grab or have the resources that they need to mm-hmm. advocate mm-hmm. for their parents and their students within the system. Mm-hmm. And in some places that's easier to do, and in other places that's harder to do. Mm-hmm. And so that's the intersection of the policy and the leadership. So those are the three areas we mm-hmm. focus a lot on mm-hmm. for school principals.
Yes, that's amazing. Well, since you have been working with these things, what is maybe the best method that it's maybe easy to teach teachers how to teach, students? Yeah. Is there's like a method, like a secret thing that you maybe can share with the listeners?
That's a hard question.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we think is really important is, like in any field, sustained practice. Mm-hmm. So when you think about an expert, a musician, for mm-hmm. example, how many hours they're practicing mm-hmm. to be ready for a concert?
Yeah.
So teaching is both an art. We say mm-hmm. it's an art, but it's also a science. Mm-hmm. And there are evidence-based methods. So one thing is to help teachers understand what are the approaches and methods that tend to lead to the best results for students. Mm-hmm. But it's also an art, how to craft those methods mm-hmm. to meet the needs of the specific students and community you're working in. Mm-hmm. And so practice through ongoing coaching mm-hmm. and observation and feedback with peers in a supportive environment, with workshops that help you understand the mm-hmm. feedback and the coaching that you're getting. So mm-hmm. those are some of the ways in which we think about teaching as an applied, mm-hmm. As applied expertise. Just like, again, we use that music metaphor, a sports metaphor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, that shows us a little bit more that teaching is not an easy job.
No, it's not.
Yes, being a teacher involves a lot of things.
Thinking on your toes, on your feet all the time, right? Because you're constantly having the students in front of you.
Exactly. And it's a responsibility, teaching maybe children's or the new generation to maybe I think that it's every word that comes out of you is something that the student will hold on to the rest of their lives.
That's right. You're definitely so important in the development of that next generation.
Yes.
But that's also what makes it such an amazing opportunity to have impact. Mm-hmm. In society.
Yes, I think, I can see your eyes glowing when you're talking about teaching. So what is the best thing in your job?
Teaching.
Teaching.
No, I have two. I have a few things. I do love to teach. I have amazing students, and I just really love the relationships. But also seeing where your students go after they graduate is always so gratifying. But I work a lot with faculty.
Yes.
I help faculty to develop their own research, and I really, really enjoy providing that type of support for faculty so that they too can succeed in their own work and their own research.
So you can definitely now see, faculty members and students evolving after, graduating and things like that.
Yes.
So you're really proud to see the results of your work.
I have many former students who are faculty members really all over the world. And that's just so fun to stay in touch and learn and see what they're doing.
Yes, of course. Yes. So have you seen some success stories here at AUIB since you have been working? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And if you come down to the College of Education and Human Development, you can see them in action.
Yes.
So we've worked with the faculty to implement some of these learner-centered, student-centered approaches with students here at AUIB. Yeah. And in fact, you can also talk with some of the students in the undergraduate program and teaching and learning and design. And they, I think, can share. I think they notice and see the difference, the relationships with the professors, but also the way that they're being taught in their classes are really they're really able to implement the type of vision we have for the best education at AUIB.
Yes, I'm sure of that. And of course, we will be seeing a lot of students, here coming to the studio maybe, so we can have more interviews and talk to them more about such things.
That would be great.
Yes. Well, as a finish for our meeting today, I would like to ask you, what is one advice that you would like to give to our young teachers today?
Patience and tenacity. Stick with it.
Amazing.
It's hard. All new things are hard. Being a new teacher is really hard. And the evidence, the research shows that in the first 3 to 5 years of teaching, teachers' growth and development in influencing the outcomes for their students goes straight up.
Yes.
So don't be frustrated if the first year is hard. Every year will get better, but the impact that you will have on your students will also increase.
Amazing.
And it is an amazing profession.
Yes, amazing. I mean, I would take these advices for myself, even if I'm not a teacher.
Exactly.
So,
it's true for all change.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
I just think that there's so much going on where we feel it every time we come with the education system here, and it's really just a very exciting time to be part of something new and developing and growing.
Yes, of course. And of course we are really amazed and happy to see all of this growing and all of this collaboration between Iraq and the USA giving us great results, and it's evolving with our education. So
well, the feeling's very mutual. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your effort, and thank you so much for sharing with us all of this knowledge. And of course, we're always happy to have you here at the studio.
We will be back.
Yes,
definitely.
welcome. Well, welcome anytime. Thank you, Dr. Ellen Goldring. Thank you.